Hey guys, so I have gotten rank 1 in Clash of Wills. And I did this by basically swapping my team a little bit. So let's go and do it again. Unfortunately, I was not recording at the time I did it. But we're going to do it again anyway. So this is the team we're going to be using 100% modifiers, or 300% to everything. I have swapped out Skye for Sephiroth and Ling for Bulwark. Now, because Sephiroth is EX3 for me, this allows me to get an EX16 team without even worrying about the Shard Dungeon. So I'm going to try to explain things as I go. Okay, so here's the ambush. First thing we're going to do is punch with Sephiroth to blind the boss. We're going to go to the base form with Chocobo. We're going to Kupo Clang for the accuracy down, and Jaunty Jubilee on Behemoth for the mitigation. Behemoth is going to go to the base form and provoke. Let's see, Elena is just going to legendary. Louise is going to field, amp, killer, and stat. And Yigni goes to the base form and does debilitating hex. Actually, even better than that, we can Fruits of Research. Yeah, let me do that. Okay. Yeah, I'm still slightly optimizing my clear as I go through all this. Anyway, we've got 85% physical mitigation from Bulwark and 50% demon mitigation and 50% general mitigation on Behemoth currently. We don't have all the buffs up yet, so damage was a little bit highish, but with Bulwark's 85% physical mit, it was okay. Okay, so now we have some mana problems. We're going to shift Bulwark, but before we do that, let's shift Sephiroth and have Sephiroth do You Will Know Pain. Now Bulwark, which is his LB to stack it up. Bulwark will Chirrup. We're going to Bulwark's theme for the modifier and Electric Ensemble to fill LB, or fill I can't talk. To fill mana. There we go. So now Behemoth can cover Departed Kings and King's Barrier. Elena can, let's see. Oh, wait, 1 second. Hold on. I need to change one thing on my chart. There it is. Okay, Elena can double morale. Louise. Now we're going to go to the shift form and start dealing some damage. So we're going to double or quad disarming. Yigni will advance and then quad or triple novice fire. Anyway, you get the idea. I'm kind of rushing a little bit because maintenance is coming up and I want to get this video done before maintenance. Worst case scenario is I do it after maintenance. Clash of Wills is not closing yet. Okay, anyway, let's get this going. So we're not guarding with Behemoth yet again. We've still got the Magnus from Bulwark, and turn 2 is a little bit less damage, as you can see. Also, we missed a whole lot thanks to the D-accuracy from Bulwark. Okay, so now we're going to just guard Behemoth on turns 3 and 4. This is going to allow us to have even more survivability, and we're going to refresh the Magnus with Bulwark. So guard Behemoth. Sephiroth goes back to the base form, and we're going to punch to blind and eat counterattacks. Go back to the base form with Bulwark. We're going to Sacred Symphony, Chirrup, and put another charge of Magnus on Behemoth, while Louise will do disarming, neutralizing Magnus, and Yigni will do triple novice and debilitating. Oh, and Elena. Elena will do double morale. Wait for this to finish first. Alright, Elena, morale. Here we go. Pushing that morale nice and high. So it's a little tricky doing it this way because we have to get through phase 1 without any help from Sephiroth. Normally when I have Skye on the team, she's helping out in phase 1, especially for that burst turn. Sephiroth will not be helping for the burst turn. He is going to be doing Zidane's STMR song to help him do even more burst on the actual kill turn. But not yet. For now, Sephiroth is our blind bot. So we're going to blind the boss with Sephiroth again by just punching. He is quad attacking with dual wield, so he has lots of chances to apply that blind. Once Behemoth finishes wrecking our morale. And all the auto casting. I'm going to go ahead and punch with Sephiroth. He's going to hit 4 times. One of them should blind. There we go. Let's go ahead and put up an Unbreakable Will. Let's guard Behemoth. Let's Killer and Morale with Elena. Let's go ahead and do with Chocobo. Let's do Chirrup, Moogly Mixtape, and Cactuar Cantuar. Alright, while Louise is just going to... Whoops. Louise is going to quad Disarming. And Yigni will just quad Novice. And let's go ahead and do that. Alright, we've now pushed morale above 180, so we're going to start getting a lot more damage through, both from high morale and from being able to use the big attack and magic buff. Okay, so turn 4 is the last dangerous turn for a while. We're going to be pushing the 50% threshold on turn 7. And by pushing it on turn 7, it gives us an extra turn of 0 damage taken because normally the boss refreshes the accuracy buff on turn 7. But if we cross the threshold on turn 7, it kind of overrides that, which is awesome. Okay, but Behemoth's cover has worn off, so we're going to go ahead and once he finishes his 1,000 counters, please stop. There we go. Now we're going to use cover with Behemoth. We're going to now sing the STMR song with Sephiroth. We're going to put up a better attack and magic buff with the morale skill. Alright, Elena is going to Killer and Morale. We're going to use Louise to Disarming, Neutralizing Nanomachine. Yigni will... let's see, Advanced, Novice, and Debilitating. And Chocobo can go to the Shift form. Now we're going to imbue Wind with Fat Chocobo. We're going to Hurricane, Chirrup, and we're going to do Chocophony to try to absorb one of the counterattacks so that the rest of the team doesn't get countered. Okay, let's go ahead and chain this up a little bit. So next turn, the boss is going to absorb Wind, which is going to obviously cause us to deal 0 damage. But we're going to set up next turn anyway, so it doesn't really matter that much, honestly. Okay. We're also now at 200% morale, so the morale gauge is good. Behemoth is not provoking right now. Sephiroth is provoking. As you can tell, he's getting all the mana drains, but he's also singing the song, so we don't really care about that. Okay, turn 6 is another 0 damage turn. Okay, we can just guard Behemoth. Don't really need to do anything with him. Louise is going to go to the base form. So is... No, Yigni's going to shift to the shift form. Yeah, it's turn 6. Turn 6 is a setup turn. So what are we doing? I got my little list here. And as usual, I'll post my list in the comments. Let me see. Oop. Guard. Let me adjust that for you guys. In case you're not using a passive provoke Sephiroth, you might want to provoke with Behemoth on this turn, but I don't need to. So we're going to do this. For turn 6, we are going to, with Fat Chocobo, we're going to, if I can find it, we're going to Mixtape, we're going to Sacred Symphony, and we're going to Chocophony again. We're going to use Louise to Field, Amp, Stats, and Killers, and Yigni is going to, let's see, Soul Projection, Shrouding Veil, Seal of Doom, and use the Magnus on Behemoth. Wait for all this to finish. Alright. There we go. Perfect. Oh, geez. We got the counterattack on Yigni. That's really unfortunate, to be honest. Damn it. Oh, well. It's probably fine. Behemoth was slow at covering. That happens every now and then. It's actually kind of sort of a little bit of a problem because he's going to take a lot of damage during next phase. How can I fix that? I really can't fix that. I guess if Ah, it's so unfortunate that Behemoth was a terrible counter that turn, cover that turn. Oh, never mind. We're fine. We're gonna heal with Fat Chocobo. We're good. So Fat Chocobo is going to Hurricane, Sacred Symphony, and use his Magnus. Yes. Unfortunately, yeah, that heals the team. So we're fine. We're fine. We're fine. It also refills mana. So we're gonna go ahead and Royal Rake. Let's put up the attack and magic buff. Elena to the base form. Yeah, sometimes when the tank is slow at covering, it's really annoying. Like really annoying. And that happened. Thankfully, Yigni has guts. Anyway, although he did get fully dispelled, which also really sucks. We're going to triple novice and then advanced. What am I doing? No, we're going to triple novice and debilitating, while Louise is into the shift form. It kind of threw me off that the boss countered there. It's annoying that it happened that way. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and chain this up, then chain the others, and this should push the threshold. Hopefully, we did get all kinds of spells on Yigni because the counter. Yeah, so that was really unfortunate that Yigni got countered there. It ended up not mattering, but it could have been a disaster. It could have been, but it wasn't, so we're okay. Anyway, Behemoth, please never fail to counter the rest of this fight. Okay, so now we're in phase 2. So we're going to wait for the autocasting to finish. We're going to start off with doing Resilient Will this turn. Elena goes back to the shift form. We're going to Golem. Behemoth is going to cover, provoke, and Magnus for 90% mitigation. Fat Chocobo is going to go to the base form, where we're going to Kupo Clang for the accuracy down. We're going to Mixtape for the triple cast, and we're going to Tonberry Boogie for physical mitigation for later. Let's see. Louise is just going to quad Disarming here. We're not going to chain it, though. We want her to get the counterattacks, not Yigni. Okay, now Yigni is going to just advance Spellfire. Okay, so that's going to dispel Louise, but we don't really care. Perfect. Okay, so here's like the mana drain and all that. Bulwark's Magnus is going to refill our mana at the start of the turn on turn 9. That's not a problem. The boss really hurts, like a lot, on this phase, but it doesn't really matter. It's okay. Okay, turn 9, we're going to just guard Behemoth. We're not going to attack the boss this turn. Let's put up Resounding Will. Let's also put up Resolute Will for the barrier. Elena is going to Killer and Blessing of the Azure for break immunity. Let's see, Bulwark is going to shift. We're going to do Hurricane, Sacred, and Chirp. Yigni before Louise. Make sure you do Yigni before Louise. We're going to shift Louise, though, but we're going to do Yigni first. So Yigni is going to, let's see, Vitality Fountain, Seared Wisdom on Sephiroth, Fruits of Research, and Gemini Research. So let all this finish before anything else. Okay, now Louise is going to Firestarter, Amplify, Killer, and then we're going to do Incapacitate Target as the last ability. So no one attacked the boss, so no one's going to get countered here, thankfully. Okay. Some attacks, some mana drain. So we're going to use the Morale skill to refill mana, so Behemoth doesn't need to worry about that. So don't worry about that. We've got a plan for the mana. And he's still got his 90% Magnus. He's also guarding, so we're fine on that front as well. Okay, so it is time for the kill turn. Once Behemoth counters back to full health. So the STMR song is now done. Eventually. Behemoth, the fight's over, bro. Wait for all the auto casting to finish. Come on. Okay. So we're going to shift Sephiroth. Let's do all my shifting first before I worry about the rest of this. We're going to shift Louise. And we're going to shift Elena. Okay. We're going to Resurging Will to fill mana so Behemoth can actually chain. We're going to Resilient Will. We're going to Resounding Will. And we're going to use Sephiroth to LB. Elena is going to Salve Magnus. Behemoth is going to triple Royal Rake. Louise is going to Disarming, Neutralizing. Yigni is going to ×5, 4 times Novice, and then he's going to cap with Debilitating. And even Fat Chocobo is going to jump in here, and we're going to do Masco something. Okay. Now, Sephiroth is a double-hander, which has variance, so depending on variance, we may or may not damage cap. It is possible, though. I've done it before. So, let's go. We're going to send these, then basically send the rest. And we are looking for a I think 146-point chain, if I remember correctly. Alright, there was Sephiroth's hit somewhere in there. Perfect. So we're looking for a 2.14. It is within variance. 2.2, perfect score. Again, there it is. So a little bit of a hiccup when Behemoth was very, very slow at covering, and we got a counterattack that slipped through cover. Otherwise, there's the perfect score. Now here's the damage breakdown. Remember, Sephiroth only dealt damage on the absolute last kill turn. So you know, his damage looks a little bit low, while Louise and Yigni did burst twice in the fight. Also, they chained like across 5 different turns. Elena only chained twice. So if you break Elena's damage in half, Elena did approximately 230 million on the kill turn. Sephiroth did 728 million on the kill turn. I don't really have a good way to break down Louise and Yigni's damage on the kill turn. Does this show like turn by turn? No, it doesn't, unfortunately. Bulwark only chained on the kill turn, so did Behemoth. So they don't really count anyway. But yeah, so there was the breakdown. So Sephiroth was a viable swap for Skye. If you have Bulwark, you probably need Bulwark for that team to work. Anyway, there was the team. Let me show you all the gear before I run out of breath, and maintenance is coming soon. Here is the team. So, yes, EX16, all modifiers. We got it in 10 turns, damage cap, perfect score. Let's go. So before anyone asks me, what are some viable swaps? Well, Sephiroth can be swapped with Skye. Boom. If you have Skye instead of Sephiroth, swap it. If you do have Skye, you can also swap Bulwark for Ling. Look at my previous rank 1 video for that exact team that gets rank 1 with Skye and Ling on the party. You can probably swap out Elena for Ling as well, or Kresnik on this team. Elena is not really super critical here because we're getting 200% Demon Killer from, what's the name? What's the dude's name? Bulwark. Bulwark is given 200% Demon Killer, and I think Kresnik gives 100% Human Killer. So you could swap Elena for Kresnik and have a totally fine swap. I think, in any case, this team works. Let me show you this team specifically. So, Esper. Is there any Espers important? Yes, Golem on Elena. That was important. The rest of the Espers are not important. Just build them based on your own killers. So, shift form of Behemoth. We started in the shift form, and he got Philosopher's Stone, and that's basically it. Yeah, that's basically it. Philosopher's Stone, and we never shifted again. Base form is full evasion and as much bulk as possible. We do not have passive provoke in the base form, but we had active provoke at all times except for turn 5 and 6. And turn 5 and 6, we had Sephiroth passive provoking instead, which is fine. So here's his build: Mechanical Heart for the healing. You do need some source of healing. If you're bringing Kresnik, obviously you don't need Mechanical Heart. There we go. Elena in the shift form was just built like whatever. A lot of Esper fill. Honestly, we didn't really do the Esper. We only summoned Golem on turn 8 the entire fight. So actually for this specific clear, you don't need any Esper fill. That was from an old strategy, so you can kind of ignore that. Yeah, her shift form is not really relevant. Base form, sword, damage, etc. Chain cap, very classic stuff. I think she's got 300 to both. 275 demon, 300 human. So there's her build. Sephiroth in the base form is using the chain cap increase helm, a source of blind, also a source of auto amplified dark, because we never use his Magnus. We don't have time because he sings the song. He is passive provoke in the base form. That is not required. That just makes the mana drains a little bit less RNG on turn 5 and 6. And actually, turn 6, you could have provoked with Behemoth anyway, so it only matters a little bit on turn 5. So that is optional. He is dual wielding with a multi-attack source, so he can have more reliable sources of blind, and Zidane's STMR song in the base form, and a lot of LB fill with like Lumina's STMR. Shift form, damage. Perfect, pure Sephiroth damage build. He is EX3, obviously, so he is pretty thick. 300 human, 250 demon, maxed LB damage, chain cap from the crown, and yeah, he did 750 million on the kill turn. So he did 1/4 of the burst needed, and he's not even a morale unit, and he's not even proper element. Go Sephiroth. Louise, base form, Vermilion Flag, mana reduction, just, very typical, just whatever stuff, some survival, etc. Shift form, damage. Double gun, killers, max killers. Yeah, max killers, and there we go. Yigni and the shift form, same thing. Vermilion Flag, some mana reduction, auto buffs, philosophers, etc. Base form, because we're not using Ling, we went with a double gun build because Elena is... not Elena. What's her name? Louise is doing our gun in peril. So double gun build on Yigni. Here is his setup. Killers. Make sure he is using either his TMR, his STMR, or his vision card. Yigni needs that for his trespasses to be activated. So we're using his TMR. His upgraded TMR. And then there's the card. He's got maxed human, maxed demon, and he did really good damage. He was also our only source of attack breaker and our only source of defense breaker. He did 85% attack and 85% defense break. And then he also did 85% spirit break for most of the fight, and then Louise did 90% spirit break on the kill turn. Fat Chocobo is built for mana reduction, LB fill, auto LB, philosophers, Call of the Wild, so that he can do all his stuff. I think the shift form is exactly the same. Yeah, you saw what he did. He was Demon Killer, Wind Imbue, Wind Amplify, Mana Restore, Accuracy Down, Morale Boosting, Mitigations. Yeah, overall, strong unit for this Clash of Wills. Okay, there was my rank 1 video, and I do still plan to do more videos next week. Maintenance is happening any moment now. But I will have more videos next week, probably some that are also using like Kresnik. But people asked me for a video not using Skye, and surprisingly enough, I was able to rank 1 clear without using Skye. I did not expect that, but it worked. Okay, see you guys next time.